Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another recap video. Today I'm gonna be going over my trade on Redbox Rdbx. It is Saturday, June 11th. So I traded this one yesterday, Friday, June 10th. I ended up longing this one because all the signs were there for me to long it. I mean, you got one, it was SSR triggered. Two, it was on a multi-day run, or it's been on a multi-day run, so possible continuation. It had volume during pre-market, and basically this day was the day that it would either break over previous high, which was like 2 days ago. It hit 1133 or 1132, and then the day before that, which was Thursday, it hit 1050s. So you had 2 layers of resistance from the previous 2 days. So but then right now, or pre-market, it was trading at 960s, 980s, 10, 15. So that was kind of like the pre-market high area. So I ended up basically planning. I was like, oh, my plan was to basically watch 950, 970 hold as support for potential squeeze into previous highs, aka 1050, aka 1133. So basically, oh, and then another thing was that the bigger time frame trend, 4-hour trend, it was still trending on that bigger time frame trend, which I'll show you guys right here. Let me see, just so y'all can get the bigger picture of what I'm talking about. You know, you're probably like, what trend is he talking about? What? So look, you got the daily. You had this $11, which had already broken on this day, and it held. So you're like, doesn't want to continue and break over that high. So that's one. And then when you go to the 4-hour trend, 4-hour time frame, check this out. Tell me this doesn't look like a little bull flag breakout. So you had this consolidation, and it was holding this trend. So basically, I was like, I feel comfortable longing off that trend because it's the bigger time frame trend. Or usually if it breaks the trend even like a little bit, you know, a couple cents, 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents, whatever it is, it'll break, but then it reclaims. Or sometimes it doesn't even break and it just holds, but it consolidates sideways on the smaller time frame. Looks like it's kind of holding up. So that was big. So you see right here, it never broke under that bottom of that wick right there. I said 950, but look, 937. But you know, you just gotta give it wiggle room. But you see, it didn't even break under 937, 940. It hit 954 out the open. It just like flushed and it hit 954 out the open. So once that new low was created, I started buying into that new low, and if it held and it continued to reclaim over the high a day and then over pre-market high, then I was going to continue to add. So now that you see the bigger time frame and why I longed it off of this support area, now I can dig deep into it a little bit more. A little more. This is the 5 minute. So the reason why I said, oh, I want to sell into 1050 was because you had this previous 1050 area over here. Previous resistance. So the first time I sold, it was into that first pop right there. And then on this break, this 5 minute trend break, I stopped out what I had initially built up. But then as it failed to make a new low on that dip right here, like it never went under 985, and it just kind of held 996. So then I was like, you know what? I want to buy into this confirmation reclaim. And once it reclaimed, then I was like, all right, I'll buy into it, and then I'll just risk this 986. So it's like we're not that far off from the lows still. So it's like a good risk to reward. And the fact that it was SSR and it had volume, that just kind of gave me more conviction, because I was like, they're going to try to trap. I feel like they're going to want to trap over the 1060. We're going to slowly grind our way, make higher highs, higher lows. The moment it made a new high here at 1040, and then it broke that 1060, I was like, that's it. It's going. It's going to go. You can see right here, look. That's where I started selling. Started selling. Make this bigger. So yeah, you guys can see how like that drop, it reclaims and makes higher highs, and then you had this 1040 resistance from over here. It drops again, and then at this point I was like, oh shit, like I'm just gonna risk under 10. And then as it began to like squeeze, you get like this volume increase, and then you get this higher high, higher low. So at this point you gotta think in the mentality of a short. Like, if I'm short here, where am I risking? I'm either risking 1040 or I'm either risking 1060, because I want it to go back under 950 and go red on the day. That's what I'm thinking as a short seller. But so knowing that, it's kind of like, well, if I'm risking 1040, 1060, then that's where shorts are going to stop out, and therefore create like a squeeze effect of shorts stopping out over each other, therefore giving it the gas and the room to go over that previous high 1130s. So once we broke that, I started scaling out, and then I held, because I was like, at this point, I already sold some, and I could easily just risk break even 1022, but I'm willing to hold longer if it continues to just squeeze into that 1130 area. And then, so basically once that happened, I just started selling into that new high 1160s, and then all the way into 12, and then we hit 1250, and then I was like, oh shit, like I don't know how far this is gonna go, but the fact that it's like it has volume and it's continuing to squeeze, I could just easily hold because my average was like way down here, and then you just like scale out in pieces, like, you know, it doesn't matter. Like at this point, it's too far away for it to. I mean, yeah, I could easily just go from 1350 all the way back to 10, but realistically, SSR stock, probably not. So yeah, I ended up selling a bunch over here in the 13s, and then the rest once we got that flush back under 1250. So at this point, I was already out. So that was the trade on Rdbx, SSR long. But you guys can see how it respects this trend, and then it goes higher, and then ended up hitting what? 1470s. 1470s, your high day there. Oh, another thing too is 15-minute trend. It was kind of like, that's kind of what I was using. I was using that 15-minute trend to gauge that reclaim. So you see how right here it bounced, and then it hit that 1050 reclaim, and then it basically came back into that 15-minute trend, and it basically held. Like, it broke a little bit, reclaimed, and then it just continued to trade on it. So this right here, I was like, oh, this looks like a clean trend hold. And I'm like, as long as it holds the 15-minute, it's probably gonna break over that 1060. So that's what we got. But I'm just trying to basically say that these trends, you gotta, I mean, I use them, they personally help me, but I feel like others can also utilize this trend to look at the bigger picture moves and be able to, trade the bigger picture to be able to get your, 10-20%, whatever it is. But yeah, so we'll see what happens Monday. This thing feels like it's gonna want to continue, or I don't know, it just depends if it's SSR, if it's not SSR, if it gaps up, if it gaps down. There's so many variables to it. But yeah, that's pretty much it on Rdbx. Feel free to comment down below if you like the video. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, or if you feel like joining my Discord group to get more inside scoop on what I'm talking about or what I'm looking at in the morning, feel free to join that. I'll post the link in the description below as well. And that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully everyone has a good weekend. Rest up. I'll see you guys on Monday. Until next one. Peace.